today for another sketch to scrap video. So for now I've got this sketch to you which looks slightly different than the usual. So this is an 8.5 times 11, and for some of you in a non-US country, A4 would be fine too. So now the sketch itself is one of those ones that is mostly about text, so it's very text based. And I am going to be using my silhouette to cut out part of the word love, and I am actually going to post the file on my blog at eatscrapbook.wordpress.com, just in case you want to create yourself a similar feature for your page. So the feature of this page is that word love and die cutting part of it, which means that you can get it to pop out and add some background paper to give it a pop of color behind the word love. And then around the sketch itself, I'm going to be using some pattern paper to create essentially a frame for it. And the photo will be a 2 inches, will be in size 2 inches. And it would replace the O in the word love there, and then you can create whatever title you want. My plan is to use a photo of the coffees we had in Tokyo, so the title itself would be For the Love of Tokyo's Coffee. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to mention is that I am going to use the products, pattern paper and a bunch of products from the Hip Kit Club from August 2016, as well as Felicity kit from September 2016 as well. And what I'm doing here is I'm just peeling out the die cut. So I use my silhouette to cut out a portion of the word love, as you can see there. And as I said before, you can download this on my blog at eatscrapbook.wordpress.com. And now I'm just punching out that photo there, which I initially punch out 2.5 inches circle, and I decided to go with a little bit smaller, and that's essentially that would fit perfectly the die cut silhouette file that you can download from my blog. And now I am just going through a bunch of pattern paper as well as coloured cardstock, which is from the Felicity kit. I initially was looking through the Maggie kit, which is from August 2016. I went with the one from Felicity kit, which is from September 2016 instead. So I'm just curling out the L and the V and the O, and I'm tossing between light pink and dark pink and kind of bluish color. So I put that aside for now, and I'm just going to be creating a frame that would go essentially around the page itself. And I'm essentially just cutting up the pattern paper, which are from the Hip Kit Club. So the pluses, the one with all the pluses, are from the Elysees Saturday line, and these polka dot kind of blue and white dots, that one is actually from the Amy Tangerine's Oh Happy Life line. But both of them are actually from the Hip Kit Club. And now I'm just kind of going back to the Felicity Jane kit once again, and I decided to actually pick out this pattern paper, which is actually it's more like a coloured cardstock, but as you can see there, you get scallop edge down on the bottom there, and I just realized I'm actually going to be using the pattern paper from this pattern paper will be from the Maggie kit. So this one is the colour cardstock, which is from the Maggie kit. It's kind of a darkish orange / pink, has a bit of pink in it. For the border, I am just going to be using the lighter part, but to back the word love, I'm actually going to be using the darker, kind of dark orange there. So I am just kind of lining them up and trying to see, kind of put together a pattern around the page there, and I'm just sticking that down. I'm trying to rough up the edge a little bit just to kind of give it a bit of dimension. I am gluing that down using my rolling adhesive. And I think the really cool thing about Felicity Jane's pattern color cardstock is that it, instead of having a branding strip, it has a scalloped edge, which means that you can actually use that as a kind of, to embellish your page. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And another thing that's great about it is that it has two sides, and and both sides they're not the same. So one side would have a darker color and the other side would just a bit lighter. And now I'm just replacing my wrong adhesive. So I ran out of the adhesive and just kind of replace that. And I'm just slowly attaching the pattern paper, and this one is from the DLC Saturday line. So I'm just going around. My aim was to make sure that the pattern paper itself doesn't actually cover too much of the page itself. And as you can see, like, I'm actually going to be trimming the kind of the border, the kind of the excess off after this. And I'm just kind of slowly moving that around, and I'll be kind of moving that around a little bit even after I finished with this, and that's essentially now. And now I am going to attach the color cardstock from Felicity Jane. So, and I'm just trimming, adding a little bit, cutting the letter V and E just a little bit more, so the edge kind of curls to have a bit more space to curl up. In the silhouette file that I will be providing on my blog, you don't have to do this. I already made a modification onto the file, but I couldn't actually be bothered to recutting mine, so I thought I'd just do it manually. And I'm just trimming out the excess. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is cutting out a few circles, a couple of circles really, to back the photo that I'm going to be using. And I'm using this circle cutter, which is from Stampin' Up, but I believe you can actually get a similar one from kind of a non-Stampin' Up brand. And probably, I know that you can get one from Martha Stewart, but I think you'd probably get one which is quite much more similar to this one from We Are Memory Keepers. And now I've cut out that initial circle, which is a pen paper from the Felicity Jane kit, from the Felicity Jane Maggie kit. I'm also going to be using that pattern for just to add a little bit, kind of, I guess, a bit of cohesion, just kind of bring together that pattern a little bit more by replacing some of those strips of pattern paper with this pattern paper, which I'm going to be using to back the photo. And I'm just kind of adding a couple of those strips. But now I feel like it needs a bit more to pop. I think I'm just trying to pop out the photo. So I am just going to be cutting another circle out from a pattern paper. What am I doing next? I think I'm going to add some text onto the page first, and that's essentially what I'm doing here. I'm using these chipboard pieces, which are from the DLC's Saturday line, and I got that pack from the Hip Kit Club. And I'm also going to be using a few letter stickers, which are from My Little Shoebox. I don't know that they still make these stickers, but I know that you can get them from Tim Holtz. Might not be exactly the same color, but you can get from Tim Holtz. And also Teresa Collins, and possibly, and also American Crafts. I know American Crafts now start making them again. And now, what am I doing next? I'm replacing I'm adding that on top of the old strip pattern paper. And now I'm adding a word off, and I'm using this alphabet sticker, which is from the Believe story kit. And instead of spelling the word off, well actually I am spelling the word off, but instead of using an O, I'm going to be using a star brad, which is also from the Believe story kit as well. And I'm using this kind of eyelet punch thing, which is from Martha Stewart. And I really like it mainly because you can actually create a hole anywhere on your page. You don't need, you know, even though a crocodile is actually a lot easier to use, it doesn't reach far enough. And now I am going to be adding another word onto the page. And initially I was going to be spelling the word coffee. And I think I'm going to change that to something else. So I also picked out these alphabet stickers, which are from Dear Lizzie as well. So I decided to go with, instead of saying coffee, I will use the word Tokyo instead, because that's what I want to emphasize. And so I'm going to spell the word Tokyo's with the apostrophe S there, and then coffee underneath that using those alphabet stickers from Dear Lizzie. And these chipboard alphabet stickers are from the Felicity kit. Yeah. So they're kind of like light turquoise color, which is it's a really nice color and complements the strips of pattern paper around it really well, especially the Amy Tangerine's Oh Happy Life one, as well as the one with all the pluses from Dear Lizzie as well. And now I'm just spelling out the word coffee just underneath the Tokyo there. And what am I doing next? I am going to cut out another circle using this circle cutter once again. And I'm using this pattern paper, which is a wood grain paper from the from the Hippie Club's August scrapbook kit. Scrapbook kit from August 2016. And I am going to be adhering that down using some foam dots. I recently purchased a new pack of foam dots, which are a little bit thinner, and I really like it. And they are a little bit thicker. They are a bit wider. So I decided to just cut it in half, and I think that's a really a good cost-saving measure. And I printed out my journaling using just on my computer, and just printed it out and then cutting them into strips, as you can see there. And now I'm just trimming that down a little bit. And then I'm going to be adding some adhesive. What I'm going to be adding, I'm going to be adding the glossy accent behind it. So I'm just moving the word coffee up a little bit, just so that I have a bit more room to play with underneath to add some journaling. And as you can see there, I'm just adding my glossy accent. I did try to buy one of those fine line bottle. It didn't work out too well. It was a little bit difficult to squeeze out, so I decided to just don't bother with it. And you know, to be honest, I think the glossy accent bottle is actually pretty good. So, and now I am going through, excuse me, my photos just to get the date. And the last thing I'm doing here is just adding some stitching. I'm just using my Janome sewing machine to sew around the edge there. And that is very simple, and that is essentially it, you guys. So here's a sketch once again. As I said before, you can get these the silhouette file on my blog at eatscrapbake.wordpress.com, as well as this sketch right here, as well as a bunch of, you know, if you want to see more close-ups, which you can see here, but if you want to see them slower, please go head to my blog and you can see them all there. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. If you want YouTube to let you know when my next video comes out, please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!